So hopefully you guys are refreshed. I think this is going to be a great panel. And do not forget, after this panel, we have the .nyc panel talking about New York. So thank you.
All right, get on stage. Yeah. Like he's running the show.
Yeah, one more thing, right?
You two have not been on the stage yet?
Not today.
Not today. Yesterday on stage. Yesterday on stage, it was a great presentation. We got a fantastic response yesterday. So I'm Greg Pollock. I introduced myself earlier, so I'm not that important. You guys, introductions, Mike?
So I'm Mike. I'm the co-founder of SmartSites, along with Alex here, who will introduce himself in a second. So we are a digital marketing agency. We've been around for around 6 years. We have over 50 employees. We're a Google Career partner, and we're here to talk about digital marketing. I'm Alex. Like Mike said, co-founder of SmartSites. Before that, I started several other companies, worked in some corporate marketing companies. Then we decided to start SmartSites 6.5 years ago. Just for the opportunity, because there's just so many small medium businesses out there that just felt like being missed by the market and just don't have the proper guidance and information to really market themselves.
So I'm Roberto Blake. I'm a creative entrepreneur, YouTuber, and speaker. I'm the owner of Create Awesome Media, a consultancy that focuses on video marketing and content strategy. And more recently, the founder of Awesome Creator Academy, which is a mentoring program and online education for other creative entrepreneurs. So you guys probably have a little bit of context on me since I was up here earlier. So I'm not going to take up any more time for myself.
And like every single person that was up here since you were up here has thanked you for that presentation.
Well, thank you so much. I'm just glad to do the dive.
Okay, so creating brand equity through digital marketing. Let's start with my favorite topic, domains. Talking about the value of a good domain name. I think pay now or pay later, right? And Jeff touched on this. You can spend a lot of money now on a domain and get a good premium name, or you can get something that's brandable, but then you have to put money into brand name. So I'd like each of your opinions, and then tell us what you think. Which one you should go?
Yeah. So first off, the question itself is, to me, the domain is the brand, right? So it's almost like, how valuable is a brand name to your brand? Especially people in the digital space, really your .com or .any TLD really is your brand name. Let's take an example. Facebook.com, right? When Mark Zuckerberg registered that domain, he had some choices, and say it wasn't available, and he instead went with face-book.com.
It actually wasn't available.
There we go. Yeah.
The Facebook.
Yeah, the Facebook. And so if the Facebook.com never sold it to him and decided to keep on to it and maybe even start a competing service, maybe it wouldn't be what it is today. So really important, like you said, either you pay now for it, or really if you're going to cheap out on it, you're going to take a different approach. Exactly like with Mark Zuckerberg, you're going to have to pay later, you're going to have to pay for more. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. It's become, it was always important, but now it's even more important. Really, if you're at the stages where you're still thinking about brand, coming up with a brand identity and everything like that, if that name is already taken, it's not something you could acquire or really have any way of getting whatsoever, it really might be time to think about a different name. It's become crucial to online identities to a point where, similar to when you start a business and you do a trademark search, you would similarly now do a local domain search to make sure that it's either available or you have some way to acquire it.
Available or affordable?
Yeah, available and affordable.
We used to buy both.
What's that?
Both. I mean, practicality. I think domain names are essential, and again, hashtag not sponsored. But it's, to me, very similar to the concept of real estate. It's digital. ownership. And I think it's really the foundation of your brand. I mean, what's in a name? Your name goes before you, like we talked about. And I think that I wouldn't be nearly as successful if I didn't have ownership of my name in the digital space. I would have had to figure that out. But being able to own robertoblake.com, being able to find domain names that resonated with my overall brand and build multiple microsites, that was extraordinarily valuable. Closer? Okay, sorry. But yeah, I mean, I think it's currently, because people are now aware of it, it's the gold rush. And I think that, scooping up your name matters a lot, and figuring it out, especially if you have an idea and a concept that you want to brand. It's the most devastating thing in the world to know that, oh crap, I waited too long and it's gone now.
And not just that, but something that would make a good brand, right? So a generic word like pineapple, or pick any kind of generic word, it's memorable. And having something memorable is difficult to get, difficult/expensive. You compare it to digital real estate, and what are the 3 rules when it comes to real estate? Location, location, location. Right. So having a good address, whether it's in the digital environment or in the real world, physical world, it's the same. Right. I believe pay now as opposed to pay later. Right. Because then you can kind of hit the ground running.
Well, I mean, if you wait, the valuation could go up, and then that could be a problem. Or if you wait, then somebody buys it, they start squatting on it, and they want to charge you to the nose because they realize, well, you branded that everywhere in social media, so what's it worth to you now?
If it's a similar name, but if you decide you want something brandable or memorable rather, and then you go to buy it, it may not be more expensive if it's a different brand. Now you can start over branding a good name. Now that you have the money, but you're better off, I think, getting it early, getting a lease with an option to buy, that sort of the blocking is early. But I'm going to bring questions. Okay, so how about multiple names, right? So Jeff was talking about having your brand.com, but then getting a .club or .blog or some other name that redirects to a page on your company site. What do you think about, we used to have a lot of mini sites, it doesn't really work anymore. What do you think about multiple domain names for different marketing processes?
Yeah, I'll start with this one. So I come from the SEO world, and very lucrative in SEO used to be having hundreds and dozens of domains. We would literally run campaigns where we would do 300 microsites, mini sites for someone. Every town in the word limo service with dashes and .net, and it would work, and right now it doesn't. So in terms of SEO, really, you're better off one website, focus all the efforts, you don't need to maintain hundreds of websites. Why would you want to have multiple domains? I think Jeff made some really strong arguments, saying, hey, if you have a really long website and you have slashes, how about for your blog, just get a .blog? Well, that's short, that's just a redirect. Not much cost into that. So that makes sense. Sometimes...
It makes sense from a marketing perspective, but not from an SEO perspective.
Not from a SEO perspective, yeah.
So explain, since we talked about that, so explain the difference.
Yeah, so in terms of SEO, it used to be one of the values of a domain is an exact match search. The keywords are right there, so without doing much effort, right away Google says, hey, this is the keyword, this is what people are looking for, it's going to help you. With Jeff's strategy, really SEO is not involved. So maybe it's an email marketing campaign you're doing, or you're doing a radio ad that says, hey, go to NameSummit.blog to read about the blog. There's no SEO value in radio, whether it's your website or it's a redirect, it's negligible, there's nothing there. So on that purpose, maybe having multiple domains makes sense.
So there's no SEO value because there's no website.
Yeah.
And Google does not index domains.
Yeah, well,
Index websites.
Yeah, correct. And not even that, it's Google looks at links. So if I'm mentioning something right here and I have a .club, right, one of Jeff's offerings, Google doesn't know. Right, so whether I do the .com slash or the .club, there's no SEO value in me saying it, so might as well have a short, sexy domain name. Same with radio, same with TV, same with print. There's no SEO value regardless, so might as well have something nice and short.
Yeah, definitely. I think as Michael mentioned, the trend has been recently towards having a single domain. 5, 6 6, 7 years ago, that wasn't the case. Now it definitely is, both in SEO, Google value, and it's kind of common sense and brand building. But having said that, I think there's still cases where it does make sense, and I think there's businesses for those reasons that still have a lot of domains. For example, if you have a single business, but you want to target different demographics, or target geographically. For example, you want a domain specifically for the U.S. business, U.S. side of the business, or you have a B2C and B2B side of the business. So I think there's still cases where it makes sense, but I agree that it's definitely moving towards a single brand, single domain type of world.
Mayfair, if you're familiar with Mayfair, it's a big shopping site. They had thousands of these exact match names, product names, and they had all these mini sites that did very well until it didn't. Right? And then, Google said forget it. I think they also had a hard time raising money because people didn't understand. Wait a second, you have this business, but you have thousands of different websites?
Yeah, I mean, it was a Google trick, basically. It was a hack that they fixed, so that's negligible. And also there's a difference between having multiple domains for one website, kind of what Jeff talked about, and having multiple websites for one business. And again, sometimes it makes sense to have multiple websites for one business, but for the most part, you're looking to consolidate, make one really strong, sexy website instead of having these little sites, little satellite sites they have to maintain.
Actually, I want to touch on that because I think the important thing in that just depends on context, because even like what we said with YouTube, the temptation to put everything you do under the sun on one channel so you have less to maintain seems very practical to you as a creator, but then as a consumer, it creates confusion as to what your brand is, and then also sometimes creates skepticism that you can't do necessarily all these things because it's a lack of focus. So then there's the perception part of the marketing on that. But then from a practicality standpoint on, say, things like SEO, using one thing and putting the energy behind it to be able to facilitate accomplishing a single task, a single goal, meaning that, let's say, I launch a book, I would build a website. In addition to having a landing page, sure, on my main website that says book or books as an author, but I would build an individual website for every book launch, because then I have a singular engine as a website that, from a context of SEO and related to my book, drives that specific thing and doesn't distract them from anything else they can hire me for. It gets the call to action, getting my book into as many people as possible's hands, and also facilitating, let's say, any downloads or lead magnets associated with that book, or any freebies associated with that book. If I have an ebook, then referencing the URL that has the book's name in it, from a consumer standpoint, that's practicality in terms of where to get the free bonuses. Taking them to a website that has nothing to do with the title, that breaks up the context for them and feels uncomfortable. So more than anything, when we tell you this stuff, what I want you to do is to put it through the filter of, does this make sense in the context of how I'm operating, and not just how I'm operating, but also how my client and my consumers operating, because I think that that's an important distinction.
But you say you want distinct websites for different things. But
Again, it depends on what you're doing, and it depends on what your overall strategy is, and also on knowing your audience. Because I understand the other argument of making the one thing and making it the strongest, but then do you dilute it if you keep making it too complex and too ungainly?
But presumably your product or service offerings are going to be related. Presumably, right? So it's not going to, you're not going to be a digital marketing consultant and a house painter, right? So you're going to be a digital marketing consultant and an author of maybe more than one book, right?
Correct, but let's take it a different route. Let's say that, again, because maybe you're addressing something broad, or we have plenty of examples of people who might be entrepreneurs and leaders, but what if they do something that then is about the personal development or the motivation side of things? Yes, there are people that are in your audience that that crosses over to, but there's also a different cultural context to that specific thing or that genre or niche. And there also might be visual branding dynamics that are very different or play out differently there. So that could matter. And then also, there might be a distinction between the considerations of somebody's personal brand trying to be broader versus a very specific thing that they did. Let's say that you're a fitness entrepreneur, for example. There might be very businessy things that you want to do because you built a great empire, a product empire, and there might be things where all the photo aesthetic is shirt and tie, right? But then on the fitness part of it, the aesthetic is very different because it's all shirtless and showing off the 8-pack that you worked so hard for. So again, that's why I say context always has to be the thing that you lead with, and then the execution of that is through that function.
Okay, so let's say I'm a fitness entrepreneur, use an example, and I want to cross-market my products. How would you address that? What kind of advice would you give?
So I would say definitely do it where it makes sense. And I would say that things like specific landing pages on either or both domains that, again, make sense to do that, then absolutely yes. But again, there are going to be people who they just want to work out and look good, and they don't want to hear or see or be, the business starting to be a distraction for them. What I'm saying more than anything is, and again, this is in general broad terms, is if you know that your audience will not have brand confusion based on you having data that represents that or something that you did. More than anything, I want you guys to action off of your own data. No matter what we tell you, we don't know your specific audience the way that you do. Ideally, you know your audience better than anyone. So what I'm just suggesting is that you take the information in the data that says, if this is performed where you get away with doing both, then absolutely do both. But if you see that your audience, for whatever reason, it gets confusing for them and you need to silo things, then the great thing is that you can buy these different domains. And here's another practical hack. What about even just for the distribution in certain social platforms, having your own branded .co or something that is a short form URL, just so you can get more out of your space or your arrangement. So that could actually be helpful on a technical level. And then you could always set that to not index in Google, so then you're not diluting your SEO. That's another practical application of having two domains and setting up specific redirects. There's also affiliate marketing things you can do with that as well. So again, it just depends on what your branding is, what your business model is, what your marketing is, and what your consumer base would want from you. I think all of us definitely. Yeah.
I think we're on the same page. You're even touching upon, if you're a book author and you're also a personal trainer, really they're kind of two separate businesses. So yeah, when you are separate.
Are they? I mean, chances are, if you're a personal trainer, you don't write a book on bird watching.
To the consumer.
Well, in that case, yeah, I would make it two separate entities. Or even if we take an example, let's say Universal Studios, right? And they have hundreds of domains. Let's say they make a domain or website per each movie. Well, that makes sense. Because they don't want to say, hey, go to Universal Studios and then click here and then click here, and then you get to Spider-Man, the movie you want to watch. Here, just go to this URL. It's a separate website. It's not even tied up together. So yeah, there's definitely context involved.
So Roberto mentioned diluting your SEO, which now gets a little more complicated, right? So for someone that is doing some of this in-house, that's confusing right now. How do I know whether I'm diluting my SEO or I'm adding to my SEO, right? When do you cross that line?
I mean, it's give and take, right? So, and we have to answer in general senses. In terms of SEO, usually you want to stick to one website. Hey, that's where all the authority is, and then that's where you just drive all the search value. So if I want to, even if I'm a personal trainer and I launch a book, if I add a page about this book to my personal training website that's already established, that's actually going to rank pretty high. If I make a totally new website, invest in that about my book, I just spent a lot of money, I spent a lot of resources, that's not even going to take me as high in Google as creating a simple page on my current website. So in terms of SEO, it's always a give and take. In terms of SEO, generally speaking, one website for the business is a good idea.
What about subdomains?
Yeah, it's a tricky play. Usually, and you can almost treat subdomains separate from if you put a subdomain at a different server and a different IP address, and now we're being a little technical here, but for the most part, you can say a subdomain, a subfolder, it's kind of the same thing. So if you're keeping it to one website, you're keeping it to one website.
Well, if it's a subdomain, it's going to be it's considered a separate website. If it's a folder, it's the same website. So you have the SEO to the folder, you don't own a subdomain.
Show of hands, is there anyone here who's unfamiliar with the term subdomain? Anybody, just to make sure?
Who's too shy to raise their hand? Who doesn't have
Well, here, let me answer. So say, and usually this is a question that comes up in our agency. They say, hey Mike, I want to create a blog. And should I do my domain.com/blog, or should I do a subdomain blog.mydomain.com? And generally speaking, kind of to your point, if you do the /, the subfolder, the domain.com/blog, that's considered more your website versus a subdomain blog.mydomain.com, especially if it's a separate IP address, that's more so considered a separate website. But again, this is kind of technical SEO.
So that leads to what can we do ourselves versus what should we outsource? And I know all of you think outsourcing is the way to go, right? Hire me. But, I mean, some of the things we can do on our own. So where do we draw that line? What should we do in-house? What should we plug back?
How valuable is your time and how much of it do you have to educate yourself about something you want to do? And then how much investment of time are you willing to commit by yourself to the execution of that? And do you have the confidence to feel that your execution will be good? I would say that's a self-awareness question, but you guys might have another answer.
Excellent answer.
Yeah, and I think to add to this discussion, I think it's not just a separation, do it myself or outsource it to an agency. There's also the middle ground of hiring someone, whether an intern or assistant or even a full-time employee as well, which is kind of the middle ground. As an agency, we see a lot of people coming to us from both of those examples, whether they're doing it themselves or have someone helping them. Again, a lot of it is a question of time, how much of your time you want to take away from running your business to learn everything. And even when they hire someone internally, a lot of times the one person can't be an expert on everything. Web design, SEO, social media, video.
Marketing.
So I think that a lot of cases you don't necessarily need to go to an agency or to a consultant for everything. But I find it very helpful for companies to at least have a partner that they could ping and be like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. Is this something that you guys take on or you think should be taken on differently? But a lot of the times, especially small business owners, I feel like it takes away from their operating their business by trying to take on too much stuff themselves.
But wouldn't it make sense for them to do some stuff themselves, like maybe some social media or posting videos or photos or writing content? Because oftentimes they know the subject matter the best. They may or may not be good writers. So
that's where it would be a great point. They might know the subject matter the best, but are they the best advocate or communicator of it? Is it the execution? They could have the knowledge. You could have the absolute knowledge of something, but your ability to execute, it depends on what level of practitioner you are. And again, what's your potential rate? What's the speed of getting to be good at that? And what's the opportunity cost of that versus doing something that you're already at 90 or 100 at that would make you more money? This might be something you need to scale or leverage. But again, what's the trade-off? So that opportunity cost is not just about what you come out of pocket for, it's about what you lose by not focusing on your strength first. I agree with you that if nothing else, be educated about it so that when you do hire or outsource or ask for help, that you know that it's executed well and to your standards, but you might not yet be in a place to even be able to meet your own standard, and that's rough.
Well, as it relates to written content, would you suggest that the client writes the content initially, then gives it to you to punch it up?
So even I'm looking at this personally right now, is that I want a lot of my video content aggregated into long, like tactical ebooks, like take 6 videos and turn it into a 100 tips book or something, right? I know that I've already paid to have that closed caption for my video audience. Hiring a ghostwriter to then tweak that grammatically to make sense in the context of the book is very practical and affordable. And again, I only have to just give guidance around that. So I think that's a matter of, if you know what the goal is, you can just map the overall plan and execution to what you're trying to accomplish that saves you the most time or money, just depending on what your vulnerability is. Is your vulnerability that you don't have a lot of money to invest, or is your vulnerability that you don't have a lot of time to invest?
And let me pose a different question, but I'll have the same answer.
I'm asking the question.
Well, it'll be rhetorical anyway. So we have a client call, and they're a restaurant, and they go, hey, we're looking to do social media. And he goes, listen, I don't want to do anything. You know, I'm in the kitchen, I'm cooking, you take care of everything. But the bottom line is the best content is a picture of that steak you just cooked. And I can't do that from where I am. Only you can do that. So of course, yeah, if you need help with editing and posting, and then you be really clever about creating a schedule, yeah, get an outside partner and make sure that partner's proven. Hey, show me some restaurants that you've worked with that really succeeded. And whether it's an in-house partner or an outside agency or a consultant, it's all kind of the same thing at the end of the day.
I have a legal marketing company, so we do work for lawyers. We do it back and forth 13 years now. And lawyers are terrible writers. No offense to, well, I know some lawyers in the audience, so there's offense, but anyway. So we don't ask them to write anything. It's all because we know that they're, for the most part, going to fail. I mean, there are a few that understand how to write and how to market, but they're few and far between. One, 300 or 400 clients, really. And so what we do is we will write everything and then just get them to approve it. And even max it sometimes. We charge somebody for a website $40,000. He paid up front 40 grand and never approved the content. Years went by, and to this day he never approved the content. So he's just busy, right? And so a lot of these folks, that's just a problem, too busy. So we make it as easy as possible.
We've had penalties of that. You're not going to.
I didn't go into it. All right, so let's talk about the various content platforms. Right? We've got social, Twitter, Facebook. We've got YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, Medium. We've got written content with Medium. We've got Instagram. We've got photos. Where do you start? Right? There's so many platforms. Is one weighted more heavily than the other? What would you suggest? How would you divide up the budget and the time on the various platforms?
I mean, really the bottom line, and I think social media, Roberto will answer it better, but I'll give a stat. It's where your customers are. You know, it's where people are searching. If your customers are on Twitter, then yeah, you should be on Twitter. You know, if your niche is everyone likes videos and they go on YouTube, yeah, be on YouTube. Another theory is be everywhere. You know, so that works too, but be where your customers are.
How do we know?
Well, I mean, you could go to Facebook, right, and say I'm a plumber, you know, in the local area. And I could go on Facebook and say, hey, can I find homeowners in my town, and can I pitch them my service? And I could go and I could type in Glen Rock, New Jersey, and I see a Facebook group that says Glen Rock Moms, and I could join it and I say, hey, listen, I'm a plumber, you know, can I advertise on this group? And if the answer is yes, they could go and say, hey, I'm a plumber, you know, do you guys need my services? How can I help? So it's as easy as that. I can do it.
I'll go last. I'm last week.
I'll leave the social YouTube stuff of that question for you. I'll take a slightly different route. I think I would not recommend to try to be on all the platforms at the same time. I think they're all different, and it requires a tremendous amount of energy to do correctly on all the platforms at the same time. Literally having the same messaging across all the platforms can scale very quickly. They're all completely different and should be treated individually with individual messaging and format. And Instagram needs a picture, but Twitter has to be concise. So it's very hard to literally do everything at the same time. But I would say that, like Mike mentioned, that it depends on your business. It depends where your customers are. If you are a B2B manufacturer of machinery, your social media presence might not be as important as the on Google, where your customers could search for specific machinery model or product you want to buy. It might not be as social media friendly as opposed to the restaurant who want to show off that steak that they just cooked. You really want to be on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram. So it does vary by industry, and it does vary by where your customers are.
So I agree with like about maybe 80% of what you guys just said, but the 20 that I'm going to add more context to, I don't think I'm entirely disagreeing, but this is going to be a little bit more road, is like you can be everywhere. You really actually might be able to do it very straightforwardly, because the thing is, when we say you can't be everywhere, what are we basing that off of? When we say you can't be omnipresent or you can't be on all the platforms where you should be, what are we basing that off of? Because according to the numbers we all have, most of these social platforms either have or are very close to 1 billion users, which means that anybody in here probably can get by or make a lot of money on a couple hundred or a couple thousand closes, clients, or sales, which means that there are almost 1 billion users on any given platform. If there's a buying audience represented in the solution they have on every single platform, there's enough people for them to be able to get that, even if they got a very small portion of the market share. And so that data, I think, bears out on the platform in the context of where you be on that platform. Because I'll tell you, you do 4 very long content posts on Instagram with good photography. I'm investing less than about maybe 30 minutes a day, but I'm also doing prep on that. Remember, I mostly do 95% of everything as I'm scaling and hiring people. I'm still doing 95% of my personal brand on my own. And then the other business things for the other things that I'm developing, I outsource for that. I still do my personal brand in just about every platform. But what I did was I was self-aware. I determined that I had a ridiculous and maybe not practical for everybody level of energy to deploy it. If you don't have that energy or ownership of the majority of your time, then you have to then prioritize where you'll be. But here's another hack, is this is actionable. If you have a top-line piece of content, let's say you make a YouTube video. That YouTube video is a video. Every video is composed of 24 to 30 actual frames of photography. All of a sudden, you have stills within the context of something you've already made that can be distributed in multiple platforms. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and then you might take less than 5 minutes to add context to this thing and doing a post there. So all of a sudden, you might have taken an hour to turn around a YouTube video, but you have multiple photos out of that you can use in context that elevate your brand, and you also have the information that you summarized for that YouTube video. You can copy and paste that into things that make sense. You already have to come up with tags and things like that. Maybe those tags apply to Instagram as well. So the thing is, if you create what's called a top-line piece of content, and then you chunk that out, and then tweak it for the context of each individual platform that you want to play in. Maybe there's a minute or less with a great soundbite that would be perfect for both Instagram, native upload from that same YouTube video, and for Facebook. And you can upload natively there, but then tweak the posting message in the description and the tags, and you can grow both of those platforms together. And all of a sudden, this thing that you already invested an hour in, just by adding 10 or 20 more minutes, you got multiple pieces of content out of it. So it's a matter of, one, understanding what your reality is in terms of your time, what plays to your strengths and skills. So you said go where your audience are. What about going to the platform that plays to your greatest strengths? Because maybe you're not a writer, but maybe you're very good at articulating things. You can have someone either transcribe that and get great content out of it, or you can pay like rev.com $1 and get that. You do video content, guess what? There's audio in that. You can strip that out, have somebody repurpose that, get a podcast out of your content. So I think that omnipresence is valuable from a brand aware standpoint. I don't think everyone can pull it off, but I don't think you should be afraid of it. I think the main thing to do is, if you audit yourself on, this takes me this long to do, this takes me this long to do, this takes me this long to do, you can then do an accounting of your time and see what you have the time to do and what the biggest payoff is, because then you got data.
All right, let's say I want to do all that. I want to be on every platform. I want to be everywhere, but I don't have that kind of time.
What about you turn for free by trading on some value for them that they can't afford from you?
What about something more automated like Hootsuite or
you can do that too. You can do that too, but then there's some punishment in the algorithm depending on that sometimes, and it varies, and there's hacks around that, but then also you have time to learn those hacks. My best bet for you is, if your variable is time, I automate, but I also then automate just to buy more time to be human, because if I can push content, then that means I have more time to engage. It means instead of pushing out a link to a video, I can sit there, I can pull out my phone, send a direct Twitter video to someone and say, hey, thank you so much for the engagement in that public. And then more people are enticed to retweet and to engage with me, because since I'm not choosing between pushing content and engaging, because I've used automation, and they know it's me and not the machine or the intern, they're more likely to engage with my content, more likely to share it, and more likely to do any call to action that I call upon at a later date.
Do you think people are less likely to engage if they see that it came through Hootsuite?
There's only a few people that care about that skepticism. If the value proposition of what they're getting is valuable enough, they won't care and romanticize where it came from or how they got it. It's just a matter of, oh, I got it. If you start automating, and granted, again, people do this. It's like, if you automate and you send me something via PayPal as far as money, do I care about that any less than if you hand me a check that I have to go to the bank in cash? I probably actually like the automation more at that point, because it's saving time.
So Hootsuite or no Hootsuite?
I would say use it and see what works, and check it against whether or not your stuff performs better when you do that versus you posting directly from the platform. Because again, you can go ahead and go all in now. I use Hootsuite for client stuff, and I use Buffer for my stuff. But I also see when I natively upload certain things to certain platforms that often they perform better. But if you don't have the time, you're at a conference right now, like me, you go ahead and you queue up 20 things, but then when you're in the middle of a break, you go ahead and you do some native stuff. That way you're not missing anything you need to. Because I'd rather you push content by automating, but then I never would fake human engagement through automation. If you're going to automate, use the robots to be more human.
What about local advertising? What do you think of Nextdoor? Is anybody familiar with it?
I'm not familiar with them, but like, I think like you've got a local market, hit the local market, hit it hard, and be better at it than whoever.
I just ran a campaign on nextdoor.com for the first time. It was great for a restaurant. It was fantastic. Anybody familiar with nextdoor.com? Couple hands? Oh, not that many.
For local,
Check it out.
I think live streaming.
Yeah.
If you're a local venue and you have something interesting going on, engage with the community in real time. Drive that foot traffic in real time. Throw some offer out in real time and say, hey, if you can get here in the next hour, next 2 hours, if you can get here before close of business, and you say, Dylan sent you, then get 10% off on your pizza pie or whatever.
I think you need to have the followers before you can do that, though. You need some audience.
With sometimes yes, sometimes no. The thing is, if you're local, then you've been building up a local Facebook page anyway in most cases. So theoretically, yes. But here's the thing, with local, you can use local hashtags, and that will do it. And not to mention, if before you go live and things like Facebook, everything, you can do local audience advertising, geo-targeting, things like that. You can build up traction there. And then it's not to say that you can't, if there's an event and you're using the tentpole thing of, oh, an event's happening, then you can't use the name or the title or trending for the event. Because that'll happen. Not to mention, most of these platforms actually prioritize it from your location. So.
All right, one more question, and then we'll go to Q&A. Influencers. How do you get them? How do you use them? Do we want to? Talk about that.
Sure you don't want me to go last? All right, it's like we'll leave with that. So, influencers. For one thing, I'd say you got to qualify your influencers, and if you don't know how to qualify them yourselves, consider using a platform. There are several influencer platforms out there. I think there's even a few that might be involved with this event. And so, I would.
You want to name some you like? You want to name some platforms you like?
So I like a lot of them, and I've worked with almost every influencer platform at some point. I studied them obviously on both sides, both as an influencer but also as a brand. And so I like FameBit, who was acquired recently by Google. I like Realio Labs. They're actually getting ready to do some other interesting plays. I like Influensive. I like for people who need free products. I like Content Boulevard, Tap Influence. There are quite a few out there. There are a couple more cropping up. Grapevine Logic. I like things like Social Blue Book is doing. And Social Blue Book is good for auditing influence in terms of getting a sense of what the price point is. And if you are an influencer, it can help you set a baseline for what you charge brands for different types of brand deals. There's also a platform through that for sending proposals. So if you're planning other influencer platforms, you can use Social Blue Book's tool and you can write a proposal and send it to whoever you want. And even if you're making a direct brand deal, you can just organize all of the data on your social platforms and then send it out to this proposal tool. So I like that, and it's better than you just having to always do your own Word document and design it or put together some Excel things. So these are the tools and platforms I like both for influencers and for brands because they have different value. And one of the things I would say about leveraging influencers are they have to be the right fit. It's not always about follower counts, it's not always about subscribers, it's not always even about views. Engagement counts for more, but sometimes micro-influencers that are very focused on a niche and have a very passionate following are good, but don't just access them for their following, access them for their expertise, and consider licensing content from them in perpetuity. No one's doing this, well, I mean a few people are, obviously, but most brands, they just say, oh, put a sponsored video, or put a sponsored Facebook post, or put a sponsored tweet, or retweet our stuff, and we'll pay you X. And what is not occurring to a lot of brands is to say, it's cheaper to get a YouTuber or an Instagrammer or a Snapchatter to make a high-polished produced video that hits our target demographic than for us to hire actors and union rates and also hire video producers, editors, and people to write a script. It's like, wait a minute, these people do that every day, and they do a good job because that's how they make their living. Why don't I just license them, and then I get a cast, a director, crew, writer, producer, editor, all in one, and I get the content that I keep it in perpetuity, and I get it cheap. I mean, compared to actually hiring people to put together a commercial, by proxy, hiring a YouTuber or a Facebook person or Instagram person to do that is much better. Rather than taking out a camera crew and models to do a full-page advertisement or something like that you're going to distribute in social media, you probably are better off hiring an Instagram model and the team that they use to go ahead and do that at a fraction of the cost. So
if you hire an influencer to do a video for you, right? They do a sponsored video. Can you get them to provide a license in perpetuity, or do you have to offer them extra?
So the thing is, you'll want to differentiate these as line items. You'll want the thing, and you want them to be separate. You don't want to pay twice necessarily for the thing that they did for their own channel, and the thing they did for their channel may not fit with your brand. You'll want to license multiple and different pieces of content, and you should think about it the same way you would any other marketing campaign. At least that's the stance that I take, and that's on both sides of the aisle here. So
you're not asking for a license for that sponsored video that they made, you're asking them to do a specific video for you.
Exactly.
And that's cheaper than going elsewhere.
Exactly. And the thing is, by giving them a certain amount of creative control, you're better off because you're getting it out of your hands and off of your plate. And again, they've already proven that they can resonate with the audience and that they can deliver, and it's good. Why make it more complicated for yourself beyond just making sure it meets certain guidelines and things that you have to from a legal standpoint or that you need to be in there? Just do that as bare minimums, because again, it's about making less work for yourself.
Yeah, those are good tips.
Saving a lot of money.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do some Q&A. We have about 5 minutes left. Any questions from the audience? Up front, with mics.
Everything's great, thank you. One thing that I haven't heard anybody mention, and I'm curious as to why, nobody is utilizing apps and push notifications that you get them to download from your website. And I'm just curious, is that something that's more or less taboo, or just no one's doing it? Because basically, once my app's on your phone, I own your phone until you take it off. As long as I don't use it.
Or kill the notifications.
As long as I don't use it, yeah.
I can't speak to that because our agency just doesn't do apps.
Let me answer your question with a question. When you're enjoying a great video or a movie or something like that, how do you feel when a commercial comes up? So the thing that I'm going with is notifications can be interruption media unless the urgency associated with the value is very specific and important to Right. No, I definitely get it. Now, if it's let's say I have a health app, I want the notifications on because the urgency that I associate with that is worth interrupting anything else that's going on. If it's an app where, let's say it's something like the companion app, I know people are familiar with that, where it's you can, a friend or a family member or significant other, you can make sure that they're getting home safe. If I would have notifications on so that if anyone in my contact list wants to make me a companion walking home, yeah, I'll turn on notifications for that. So the value and
I'll be your companion for birthday.
Nice. Oh wow, we should make Dr. Hugh show. Anyway, the thing I would say is it just comes down to the value proposition and the urgency will make us turn on notifications. But other than that, we generally see it as an interruption of something we're doing, and it also kills our battery.
I agree. I think it has to be a use case, a specific example where it actually works, where the person wants it. You don't want it to become like pop-ups that on the internet where everyone moved away from that and it was the most annoying thing ever. I know that Apple App Store is now moving to rank apps based on install rates and things like that. So you don't want to like annoy the people who download your app and force them to uninstall it. But I think in certain use cases where it does make sense for emergency alerts or things like that, it is very popular. We just don't come across it tons in our line of work. But I see tons of cases where it's really, really important and really cool feature to be able to be notified in real time of information that's important to you.
All right. Any more questions? Back here in the middle.
Hey, how you doing? This one's from Roberto. So Roberto, just a quick question. How did Adpocalypse affect you personally, and do you think it affects the legitimacy of the platform?
So Adpocalypse affected me in a very personal way in the fact that my Twitter and my comments and everything blew up, and I had to like calm everyone down and talk them off the ledge. So it affected me very personally in that way. In terms of my overall ad revenue, it didn't decrease at all. If anything, it increased. But the nuance of that that is that if you're not doing things that are controversial, political in nature, and by the way, give some context to everyone here who may not be familiar, the Google ad apocalypse, which mostly people refer to as the YouTube ad apocalypse, was a situation where, due to some unfortunate circumstances that were headlined in many traditional news publications regarding advertising showing up on extremist content and possible extremist recruitment videos and so on, which also, based on reporting from Google engineers, is a very, very rare thing, like a less than a fraction of a % thing. But again, it was very popular in terms of a headline, some might say clickbait. And there might have been some alleged patent trolling involved, but to get to the point is that, okay, ads that we wouldn't want to pay for on content that doesn't matter to us is a big problem for advertisers. And I sympathize with anyone spending money on something that damages their brand or has no relevance or context to them. And so I was actually very pro moving this direction. Many content creators were not, because either A, it affected their revenue unintentionally, even though they weren't doing anything that was specifically wrong or anything that was extreme, but was, let's say, not as brand or advertiser friendly, or might have been unfavorable, or might have been questionable. This might include people with genres of comedy, or people who might play violent video games, or people who might be political commentators who are well-intentioned and are not shock jocks, were affected by this. And so that just gives you some kind of context here. But it wasn't limited to YouTubers, it's just that that's what gets highlighted. Anyone who is a Google AdSense publisher was affected, which includes people with mobile apps, which includes people with websites for their podcasts or for their blogs. YouTubers just got more vocal attention because YouTube has a spotlight for many reasons right now. That being said, the effect to me was it validated a lot of my previous thesis of diversifying your income and not relying on that as a content creator for your business, and the need to have a real business model. And it also made more relevant a lot of my content around how you think about metadata and how you think about the titles and descriptions and tags beyond just trying to get attention, aka controversy, which was something many creators did because they could get attention very quickly, they could capitalize on headlines in the news, etc., but they didn't think about it in a broader context. And then the good thing for us is this also pushed or accelerated a response from Google in making a much more easy to navigate ad platform to utilize to get more context on relating your ads to content, which we saw the presentation of, which I'm very impressed with what the Google team has done there in response to making the platform easier to understand for advertisers, easier to use. The problem is creators don't necessarily do all the research necessary to understand the complex things that go with this, because their focus is creating amazing content, and they may not have the technical or business savvy, and so they become an unintended casualty of this. Thankfully, I was not, but I sympathize a lot with any creator, any publisher, whether YouTube or Google publisher through a blog or a app platform or what have you, who had their revenue stream affected by this.
Jason, do we have time for another question? I know we're running over.
One quick question here.
Just because you're so articulate and you know your stuff so well, Roberto, could you just repeat the platforms for the influencers just a little slower, and just repeat which ones you really like?
Just list the platforms.
Sure. In no particular order, FameBit, famebit.com, Relio Labs, spelled REELIO labs.com, Tap Influence, and I believe the other one is Influensive, Social Blue Book, and Content Boulevard. Those are the main ones.
I also have BuzzWeb. There's two guys here from.
Oh yeah, I forgot BuzzWeb as well.
Thank you.
And I think Snips. Yeah.
Snips, right.
All right, I want to thank our panelists. Thank you, guys. Well,